Hello. Have you ever felt that if you fail at something, it will be the end of the world? I felt it a lot of times. I think that every time that I want to try something new and I don't, the main reason for my procrastination is that I'm afraid of a failure. And it is quite logical for any of us because a failure of some of our projects or whatever is considered by us as our failure as a human, and we are afraid that if we do something wrong, we will be not good enough. However, the essence of my job is to fail, and I want to share it with you how I apply my product management approach to my life. So in this video, we will speak about two parts of failures. One of them is why some of my experiments as a product manager, that simple part, must fail. And then, when we understand how it works in a professional field, we will move to our life. This is Misha About Everything, and today I want to speak about failures. As I mentioned, I work in product management field, and the thing is that nobody needs my work or my consulting if there is no chance to fail. Imagine a product which has an obvious way to improve it. For example, it's a mobile application which crashes every second time you try to enter it. Do you need a product manager to tell you that you need this fix? No, it's just common sense. So a person like myself step up when we already operate under some uncertainty. And uncertainty means a possibility of a failure. So I must say thanks for all the opportunities to fail, because without them, I will not have opportunities to have success, to have my work, the thing I love in my life, and my money. And in product management, there is a simple thing to explain a separate failure. We have A/B tests. If you don't know what it is, it means that we use one option for, let's say, half of our users, another option for another half of our users, and we compare what performed better. And usually we try to improve our product. The thing is that you can't be correct 100% of your attempts. I mentioned, if your tests, if your decisions are so obvious that they always lead to improvement, most likely your bosses don't need you. So over my career, I had hundreds of such tests, and not all of them were successful. And I would say that there are two ways to fail a test. What can be considered as the failed test by most people. One way is if I changed something in the product and the test grew. Does it sound bad? Not for me, because I know now there is some parameter. Imagine it is here. I can change it this way, and for example, my profit will become lower. Okay, I have a very logical next step. I'm changing it that way, and most likely my next test will be a success. So from my failure, I learned something important and I implemented it in the next attempt. However, there is another layer of failed tests. I changed something in my application, and control group and test group perform more or less the same. I move my tumbler or handle or whatever, nothing changes at all. Is it a failure? Again, important thing is that I gained some knowledge. From this moment, I know that I shouldn't touch this handle. Maybe I should even cut it from my code. And I can focus on something else. That is, again, the knowledge. Of course, it is only possible not to be afraid of these failures when you operate properly. When you are like myself and you have hundreds of the tests, when they are cheap enough for you to experiment. Because, for example, if your test is redesigning the whole application and the whole team works for a year over it, and then it fails, yes, it is very likely that you are fired and even the team can't survive anymore because you spent all the resources for nothing. In this case, your failure is the end of the world. But good news is that you can avoid such decisions. You can move to simpler decisions. The very essence of product management is to split your big decisions into small chunks, which you can test. And one failure will not lead you to the end of everything. We will recover and you will go back and you will test the next thing and the next and the next. And you will know more. And you, at the end of the day, will become an experienced person. So it is okay to feel better when you have success and not a failure. But if you don't want to feel so much pressure, you should keep in mind that you need risk management in your life, in your work, whatever. Imagine some person who does acrobatics tricks. They train in the gym, they use the soft mats when they train for the first time. When they want to do a backflip, they don't start on a concrete floor. They use something soft. If they want to land perfectly, for example, to do their backflip on the edge of a cliff, they will not start on the edge of the cliff. They will check first if they can land to a certain area. And they will fail while they do it. But they have controlled risks. They will be able to recover after their failures. And I'm pretty sure that falling on your back or whatever when you try to do a flip is not nice. It still hurts. But it is a controllable risk. It is a failure you can quite easily survive. And most of our failures in our lives are what we can survive so easy. When I recorded this video, I recorded the whole video just to see that I used wrong crop. And I spoke to the camera for 20 minutes and half of my head was cut. Okay. Was it a failure? Yes. Was it a problem? No. Why? Because I know that I can do another edit, do another record, and that's it. And we can come from my work to my life and your life. The lesson which we can take from product management and implement it in real life is this control over the risks. You shouldn't have one shot, one opportunity. You should be able to try and try and try. And I will be honest, it still freaks out to try anything new. And I know it. Last year I started 2 YouTube channels, 1 blog in English. I launched like a couple of projects and I moved to consulting. Everything freaked me out because every time I felt that I never done it. How could I think that I will be successful in this field? How could I even dare to try it? And the thing is that nobody borns with experience. We learn with every step. Imagine a baby who tries to walk, they don't succeed from the first step, and they stop trying. It's ridiculous. Then why you, an adult person, or a teenager, I don't know, why you would be afraid to fail? Why do you think that a baby is braver than you are? Maybe baby doesn't understand that they will fall and it will hurt. But you understand that it will hurt. But what you also understand that there wasn't such pain in your life that had killed you. So you can try. You can start something new. You can do what scares you. This just doesn't need to be the biggest thing. This can be something small. You don't need to become a super pro athlete, but you can run 500 meters next morning. You don't need to be some super hot Chad, but you can say a compliment, and I mean the sincere compliment to the lady or a guy you like, just to make their day brighter. Because what is the worst thing that can happen if you just say something nice to a person? At the end of the day, you don't need to get salary of $1 million, but you can ask your boss, what else can I do? Is it possible to get the salary increase? The worst thing that they can answer you will be no. And you also will get some new information. You will know that you probably may change the job. So it will not be the end of the world. We all love success and we all hate failures. But in fact, it is impossible to only have successes. Well, or again, probably if you only have successes, you are overqualified for what you are doing. Probably it is not what brings you or somebody else, I don't know, money, happiness, or whatever. To me, it is a rule that if I never am afraid of a failure, it means that I don't try hard enough. Because it means that I don't try to do more than I did yesterday. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes I don't want to have any failure during my day or a week. It is also okay. It is also acceptable. But it is my choice. It is my choice in these cases. Like, I just don't try. It's okay. But if I want to do something, and I am afraid of a failure, and I always will be afraid of a failure, I will remind myself, this will not end everything. If you fail, it will be just one bad luck. The brain will try to persuade you that you shouldn't ever try. You will feel miserable, after you tried and failed. Everybody will know that you failed. And for everybody, you will be that guy who launched the business and got red. Or it is the guy who tried to push 100 kilograms in the gym and couldn't even push 90. What a loser. Well, obviously that's not how people think. And I will tell you even more. People usually like other people who fail because it is brave and it is in human nature to fail. We see a person who fails, especially who fails with us as witnesses, and we see their vulnerabilities. We understand that they are open to us. We are not afraid of them. We see that they are people. They are humans. We love them. We adore them. We admire them. And we never think about these people, that they are losers. Usually we think that some people are losers, about those who don't even try. However, I don't recommend you to think about anybody that they are losers, because you don't know what are their personal fights. And anyway, most likely, if you try and fail, you will not suffer. And I want to tell one little story which felt completely different in the moment before I did it and right after. The thing is that I had some major breakdown just last week, and I really felt bad. I asked in a chat of 250 people to support me, just to talk to me by call or by meeting me. Just imagine what it was for me to tell all these people that I am weak now. Like, I typed the message and I needed another half an hour to send it to the chat. But then the magic happened, because so much people supported me. A few people also shared their vulnerabilities, and the chat itself became warmer. And the next day, when I still had some issues, I remembered that I was someone who inspired people, inspired by being vulnerable. And it was amazing. It was this difference between what I felt. I felt that everybody will see that I am weak. But when someone shares with you that they are weak, all of a sudden you start to think that this person is very strong, is brave or whatever. And I'm not trying to brag about it, but I think that sometimes in the moment we are too afraid to do the most right thing. So I hope that you, after watching this video, will be able to choose the right thing, to choose action over procrastination. Because if you fail something that you plan, nothing bad will happen. Because planning includes this part of preparation. Like, what should I do in case of failure? That is just the way it goes. Failure is completely normal. You should normalize it for yourself. You are allowed not to be perfect. And I think it is one of the most important lessons I learned in my life. It helps me to be a good professional, but what is more important, it helps me every day to grow as a human. Well, not every day. Nobody grows every day. And I'm just 1 meter 65. Anyway, you watched Misha about everything. And I'll be happy if you like this video. And I don't mean just click the like button, I mean if you like it, if this video was helpful to you. But of course, clicking the like button is good, and ring the bell, write the comment, and whatever that I as a blogger should ask you to do. But first of all, I want to wish you find the courage to fail. Bye bye.